Hello friends, so today we will explain Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So to begin with, we first need to explain and define what a conductor is. So a conductor is a material that allows electric current to flow through it easily because it has many electrons. So I want you to think of copper, silver, gold, aluminum. All of these are conductor materials. And then we need to define what induction first because this is law of induction. So now that we understand what a conductor is, it's much easier to understand what induction is. So induction is simply a process of generating electric current in a conductor by charging the magnetic field around it, by changing the magnetic field around it. So as you can see, if we put a magnet through an inductor coil, then we calculate the current using an ammeter between the end and the beginning of the coil. Then we will see that there is a current that was generated, electric current that was generated simply by changing the magnetic field around the conductor. So that's the process of that, or this phenomenon is called induction. And now that we're looking through Faraday's law of induction, so as I said again, we have a coil, a magnet, and we put the magnet through the coil. Then as you can see here, line of forces are also called flux lines that will be changing if they get inside the coil. And we use an ammeter to calculate the currents. And the difference between the current is called electromotive force, sorry. It's also referred to as EMF. And that will be equal to minus number of turns of the coil. So like let's say for example there is 50 turns of the coil. So we will use that as the number of turns of coil. And then it will be times the change in magnetic flux, which is d delta, and change in time, which is dt. We refer to d just because it's a small change. So yeah, that's the electromotive force that we calculate using Faraday's law. And it's important to understand what an inductor is and what a conductor is and what induction is to understand Faraday's law and to be able to apply it. So let's look at some usage of Faraday's law. So first, it helps us design generators and motors. As you can see in the image, we have generators and motors that use induction, and Faraday's law helps us design these products. And also it helps us build transformers for voltage conversion. So these are voltage transformers, as you can see in this image. It also helps us create in creating inductive sensors like metal detectors, speed sensors, etc. And those, as you can see, it's one of them is in this image. And overall, it helps us understand induction heating and wireless charging. So anything that uses wireless charging, induction heating, it's probably using Faraday's law. And let's look at the limitations. And the limitations of Faraday's law are simply that it assumes a uniform magnetic field of coil geometry. So here is an example of coil geometry. Not all coils are made the same, so obviously it won't work the same on all inductors. So it can be faulty when it comes to different coil geometry. Real coils also have resistance and energy losses due to heat, which can affect the result of electromotive force calculations. Also, another limitation is high frequency changes can cause additional effects like ED currents. So if you don't understand what ED means, ED is simply a circular movement of water, wind, dust, and in this case, currents. So this is the end of the video. We have defined conductor, we have defined induction, we have defined the Faraday's law. We looked at some usage of it and some limitations. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.